This is TWiT.
I'm curious what you think about this. China, according to the Financial Times, has unveiled a new proposal for reinventing the internet. They've proposed this to the ITU, the International Telecommunications Union. It's being spearheaded by Huawei, Chinese company, and in fact, FutureWay, which is a Silicon Valley-based think tank and a research arm of Huawei. They made this proposal together with China Unicom and China Telecom, the country's Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. The Financial Times got the PowerPoint presentation for something China calls new IP. I don't know if we need a new IP to replace TCP. They said that the infrastructure is unstable, vastly insufficient, and they suggested that the ITU should take the long-term view and shoulder the responsibility for a top-down design of the future network. One of the reasons they want to do this, there's a new feature in new IP that the Chinese call "shut up," which would be, it's aptly named. It would be useful on Twitter. It allows, it's a top-down, by the way, governmental-run internet. It would allow whoever's running the internet in that country to take anybody offline, to restrict communications between two different IP addresses, or just to say, hey, you're not on the internet anymore. And I have the feeling this is the main reason for this.
What could possibly go wrong? But, I mean, so two different things here. Number one, the statement of problem there is 100% accurate. The internet was never designed to be what it has become today. DNS was never designed to be a directory. And so, you know, the internet is just a god-awful mess today. But a top-down government-imposed solution that gives a central authority the ability to arbitrarily cut off access to a single node on the internet with surgical precision, basically an online drone strike, is not the answer. Absolutely,
you could see
why
China would love this, though, right? The ability to shut down dissent on the internet, and you could also see why other countries might kind of fall for it, because for a variety of reasons. Well, we could, this is why the Earn It Act is rushing through Congress, so that we can control child abuse online.
But I think one of the most important statements about the internet as it exists today is the aphorism that is absolutely true. The internet interprets censorship as damage and routes around it.
Right. That's the real problem.
And that's the good part about the internet. But there's so many bad parts that go with it. But honestly, the idea that somebody is going to, come in top down and invent a better internet,
especially China.
No, yeah.
One of the scary things I can totally foresee quite easily is China creating this, internet, which for all we know is the internet that their internet is based on, or at least what they're trying to achieve with their implementation of the internet already, and then mandates that if you want to do trade with China, or if you want Chinese dollars for whatever infrastructure project you have going on, you're going to have to use this internet as well. I don't think that is terribly hard to imagine happening. I do think, however, that we are underestimating the coronavirus impact, and we don't know what's going to come out. And when we have gotten through this globally, so it worries me that China is talking about this, but it also worries me that we're seeing government organizations trying to do an end run on Section 230 with the Earn It Act. Right. So this is highly concerning, but also we don't know how things are going to be in China when coronavirus returns there, if they will be as successful as before in tamping down on it. We don't know, as we mentioned, if they've been misleading about their numbers. their infection rates. So this sounds like a really bad idea, and I could see China making it a thing, but
one hopes the
at this
ITU
point-
will
at
be
this point,
smarter
who
about
knows?
this.
Well, it depends. I mean, if someone wants to buy, what was the top level domain that was it .org that
just got
someone tried
sold?
to
Oh, yeah,
sold for
yeah,
like
yeah.
$1 billion or something?
yeah.
Yeah, that was obviously a bad idea. So how that happened in the first place is, that doesn't give me any confidence in China proposing a government-run internet.
Well, and that happened, not to get too lost in the weeds there, but that happened because of financial pressures at ICANN, right?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
that's, and if they, I mean, it's sort of, ICANN is is to the internet as the postal service is to the United States, and they're both, in theory, not pure capitalist institutions, but in practice they have to act like them because otherwise they go bankrupt and can't do their jobs and pay their people and deliver the bits or the envelopes and magazines depending on which side you're talking about. And so it's back to what you said, Seth, at the beginning. Once you get into a capitalist system here, especially in a time of stress like this, a lot of flaws in the underlying infrastructure become really obvious.
Yeah.